They felt Franklin first in Northern Ireland as yet another storm swept in, leaving Portstewart soaked in the early hours of this morning. Its power cutting electricity to 10,000 homes at its peak. Yorkshire was hit soon after, rain causing major flooding and rivers bursting their banks, sparking these rescue efforts to save what hadn't already been submerged in Castleford. And in Greater Manchester, worry of a great risk to life. The rising River Mersey threatening to flood homes last night. The concern so real, residents in Didsbury evacuated to a local mosque for safety.
The river rose to a dangerous level, so we've come here to keep away from it.
Last year, when the same thing happened, we opened our doors then. So we were a little bit more prepared this time.
A system releasing muddy waters from the Mersey to this place, seemingly working to a T. The flooding today is found in places like this. This golf course in Didsbury is part of a flood basin here, filled with water when the floodgates were opened last night. At some point, just over there, 10 feet of water. Gary, I mean, it's some state here, isn't it?
It's not very good, is it? I've not seen it as bad as this before, though, I must admit. Not as high, not as deep. So we need the river to drop, and then the gate where it empties will open, and then we can get rid of the water off the course.
It is the third storm in 7 days, but plenty more rain to come at this time of year, according to flooding experts.
The precipitation, though, is the one thing that we are quite certain about with climate change. There will be more precipitation coming out of these storms, and in particular for these type of winter cyclones, we're expecting about 10% more rainfall in a 2 degrees C warmer world. So the flooding impacts from these types of storms are expected to increase.
The fallout of Franklin caused rush hour disruption this morning across large parts of the UK, bringing down trees and cutting off roads like this seen in Liverpool. Train cancellations a major problem across the UK too. In Rotherham, this railway had turned into a river. In the Derbyshire town of Matlock, it was street swamped by the storm as people were urged not to travel to the area. Even those who wanted to travel in York today, driving conditions were difficult. Storm after storm has come down the road this past week. Franklin's force will take time to subside on already sodden ground.
To Alan in Didsbury. Now we can see it's quite wet where you are still, Alan, but give us a general picture. What's it like throughout the UK, and crucially, what might be coming next?
Yeah, there have been very difficult conditions for many people across the UK, Shan. Here in Greater Manchester, it's wet there, yes, but it has become a bit drier in the course of the day. People here are very delighted about that. I think the water that is here in Didsbury just now, at some point that will be pumped back into the river that it came from. I think people here are very relieved that it didn't get any worse last night, as you can't imagine. Imagine in the middle of the night being told that you have to evacuate your home because of the danger of potentially floodwater coming into your home. So I think there's a lot of relief there. But in terms of what's to come, well, there could be some more bad weather ahead. The Met Office has said there could be gales and snow for parts of the UK, and if that weather system gets a name, we could be dealing with a storm Gladys.